Bella Beaver stood on the muddy riverbank, staring at the broken dam as water rushed past. Barry Badger adjusted his blue cap and said they'd need help fast. Sparky the spunky squirrel and Twitchy the tricky fox stepped closer, eager to join the mission. The sun glimmered on the swirling water while Bella explained how the spring floods had struck again. Barry tapped the wooden beams, testing their strength. "We'll rebuild it stronger," Sparky promised, his tail flicking with determination as he studied the broken frame. Twitchy scanned the banks for fallen branches, his eyes sharp and clever. "We'll need to work quickly before the rain returns," he warned. Bella nodded, her heart pounding at the challenge ahead and the thought of saving their riverside home. Barry Badger rolled a heavy log toward the river, muscles straining under its weight. Sparky darted between piles of sticks, gathering the driest ones he could find. Twitchy balanced along the slippery edge, scouting for danger while Bella kept watch from the shore. The friends formed a line, passing sticks and logs from one to another. Bella pressed each piece into place, her teeth gnawing them snug. "It's looking better already," Barry encouraged over the roar of rushing water, his voice steady despite the noise. A sudden splash startled Sparky, who spotted a wave breaking against the half-built wall. Twitchy leapt to steady the beam before it floated away. "Hold it!" Bella called, gripping the beam tight as water surged around her legs. The water pushed hard, but they braced together and kept the dam upright. Barry's boots sank deep into the mud as he anchored the base. Sparky's glowing pendant shimmered faintly, lifting their spirits in the midst of the struggle. By midday, the dam stood taller, casting a shadow over the calmer pool. Bella wiped her brow, smiling at their progress. "Let's test it with more water," Twitchy suggested thoughtfully, his eyes scanning the sturdy new walls with care. They opened a side channel, letting a rush spill toward the dam. Barry watched the beams flex, testing their limits against the flow. Sparky whispered, "It's holding, for now," his voice carrying both hope and caution. A crack echoed as one log split under pressure. Bella lunged to replace it, splashing into the cold river without hesitation. Twitchy tossed her a sturdy branch, quick as lightning, ensuring she had the right piece to fill the gap. Working in rhythm, they swapped out weak pieces for stronger ones. Barry guided each placement carefully, his overalls streaked with mud from the effort. Sparky dashed to fetch more supplies from the forest edge, returning with armfuls of sticks. Rain clouds rolled in, darkening the sky above the river. Bella urged them to hurry before the storm began. Twitchy's ears twitched at the distant rumble of thunder, warning them that time was running short. Fat raindrops fell as they tightened the dam's frame. Barry's cap dripped steadily, but he kept hammering the beams into place. Sparky laughed, calling it extra testing water, though his eyes stayed focused on the work. The rising river surged against their work, shaking the structure hard. Bella gritted her teeth and held firm, refusing to let it give way. Twitchy barked orders to adjust the supports before the water could break through. A section gave way, sending a wave over Barry's boots. Sparky darted forward with a new idea, woven vines for extra strength. Bella agreed instantly, knowing they needed every trick to keep the dam standing. They gathered vines from nearby trees, weaving them tightly through the beams. Twitchy tied knots swift and sure, his paws moving fast. Barry tested the new layer with a firm push, nodding at the added strength. The dam held against another surge, and Bella's smile returned. Sparky's pendant glowed brighter in the misty rain, casting a soft light. "We're getting better each time," Barry said proudly, his voice warming the group. Morning sunlight broke through the clouds, showing calm water upstream. Bella felt hope rising within her chest. Twitchy suggested reinforcing the sides before the next flood season could threaten their hard work again. They searched the forest for the thickest logs they could find. Barry dragged them back, leaving deep tracks in the wet soil. Sparky balanced two smaller logs across his shoulders, moving quickly toward the riverbank. Bella arranged the new logs with care, locking them firmly into the frame. Twitchy adjusted the angles to guide the water's flow smoothly. Barry hammered pegs into place, each strike echoing across the valley. A gust of wind rippled the river's surface as they tested the final structure. Sparky leaned over, listening for creaks or groans in the wood. Bella nodded at the steady, even sound of flowing water. That night, they camped beside the dam, firelight dancing on their faces. Barry shared stories of past floods and daring fixes. Twitchy listened quietly, already planning the next improvement in his mind. The next morning, a sudden downpour tested their latest design. Bella stood ready with spare branches to patch any gaps. Sparky dashed along the dam's edge, plugging leaks before they could grow worse. Barry braced against the strongest current, his muscles tense and steady. Twitchy barked quick instructions to redistribute weight across the supports. The dam shuddered under the strain, but stayed firm against the rushing water. Cheers erupted as the rain eased and the water calmed at last. Bella clapped Barry's shoulder in thanks for his strength. Sparky spun in a happy circle, tail high with triumph. Ace spent the day adding decorative touches, smooth stones and leafy panels along the sides. Twitchy said it would help the dam blend with the forest. Barry agreed it looked more welcoming to passing animals. A curious deer wandered by to drink from the quiet pool. Bella smiled, proud to see the animals enjoy their work. Sparky offered the deer a nut, which it accepted calmly. The friends sat together, watching the river flow peacefully under the fading light. Barry's cap shaded his eyes from the setting sun. Twitchy stretched, satisfied with the day's accomplishments. Bella thought about all the times the dam had broken before. Each time taught us something new, she said softly. Sparky nodded, his tail curling around his paws in agreement. Barry raised his hand in a mock salute. "Here's to unbreakable building," he declared with pride. Twitchy grinned, agreeing wholeheartedly with the sentiment and the journey they had shared. Under the starlit sky, the dam stood strong and silent. Bella Beaver, Barry Badger, Sparky the spunky squirrel and Twitchy the tricky fox rested, knowing their teamwork had made the water calm for good.